Iowa lawmakers passed medical marijuana legislation in the final hours of the session last week. If Governor Terry Branstad signs the cannabis oil bill, Iowa will become the 22nd state, along with the District of Columbia, to legalize some form of medical marijuana. 8 other states have pending legislation, adding to the growing recognition that a long-time controversial plant does have medical benefits. And while Iowa's bill holds promise for those suffering with chronic epilepsy, it is very narrow. We begin tonight not in the corridor, but in Colorado, in an exclusive report you'll see only on CBS 2 News. Families out for an evening meal, enjoying some food and having fun. Normal enough until you realize that everyone here deals with epileptic seizures, and all these children are taking cannabis oil.
Before medical marijuana, she would be awake probably 2 hours a day, if that.
2-year-old Maggie Selmeski is one of them.
Hey, sweet girl.
Joining more than 200 others who have moved to Colorado to get the oil that is changing their lives for the better.
She was much more active
Movement-wise?
Before we moved. Anytime she moved, it was probably a seizure. Whereas now she's trying to move her arms, she's trying to move her leg. We'll put her down on the floor and she'll rotate and get to a new position.
In just 5 months, the Selmeskis from Swisher have seen Maggie's seizures cut by 1/3. And they're weaning her from addictive pharmaceuticals as they give her cannabis oil 3 times a day.
There you go. 2 years ago, we would have said medical marijuana is a joke. People just want it to get access to it. But we didn't do our research and we were ignorant on it.
And now that you've actually spent 5 months doing that and have actually relocated to Colorado,
yes,
and doing this for her.
Yeah, we have a different opinion.
3-year-old Brady Gritman would normally have a couple seizures every day. But since his parents moved here from Tama, he's had only 3 in 2 weeks. 7-year-old Maddie went from 100 seizures a day to 20. Back in Iowa, scientific testimony explains why.
In our bodies, we actually have an endogenous system called the endocannabinoid system, named so because we have receptors that are specific for the compounds within the cannabis plant.
CALIGIURI says people with severe epilepsy simply can't produce enough of their own cannabinoids to overcome their seizures, which is why they reach for the plant.
Marijuana works to treat seizures. Smoking marijuana works to treat seizures, and the other cannabinoids work also.
Dr. Tom Karlstrom has decades of medical experience.
For people who say we don't have any good idea on the side effects of cannabis, well, we do know some things about it, and we know that it is, in many cases, a better drug than the ones that can be prescribed.
But there's still a significant roadblock with Iowa's new legislation. Because it only allows for possession, Iowans have to travel all the way to Nevada or Rhode Island to get the oil. Colorado, like the majority of medical marijuana states, requires residency for purchase.
It would be very beneficial to be able to make it here in the state.
That's why Senator Joe BOLKOM says an interim study committee is exploring a larger program.
Part of that study is going to be how do we produce that medicine safely and securely here in Iowa.
These are THC plants here, so we're in the middle of harvesting both CBD and THC.
I'll show you how it's done in Colorado in my next report and share with you other Iowa voices calling for prescription pot for their medical conditions.
Marijuana is a plant grown by God. I don't trust pills made by man.
Eventually they may get down to the rest of us.
Be sure to watch tomorrow night on CBS 2 News 10 at 10. And by the way, there's a Facebook page called The Face of Cannabis, which features the individual stories of the children you saw in tonight's report. We have a link at cbs2iowa.com.